Remember, MJ is not active in the basketball community. The basketball community still holds MJ here is because of LeBron James.
Youngest MVP in the league, Chicago's finest, Derrick Rose, finally got his number retired in a glorious ceremony up in Chicago. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time. And some would say it's long overdue. But how do you feel about Derrick Rose getting his number retired by the Chicago Bulls, who only have but a handful of numbers retired?
I know, listen, it is depending on what side of basketball you fall under. If you fall under the person of who Derrick Rose is and who he is to Chicago, who he was to that franchise, what he means, then, I always tell people like this. Your value is who you are as a person. Numbers don't always matter, right? The owner is a human being, right? He's going to retire your jersey if he wants to retire your jersey. Your numbers, none of that matters. That's a thing for just a benchmark. But how you make him feel, and it's obvious that the Derrick Rose impact to the city of Chicago and that owner says, I want to retire this man's jersey. And me personally, I think it was I would have, like me watching from the outside, everything he's done, when he opened up the Rose shop, every time he's came to the building, like he was Chicago himself. And I would have retired the jersey if I was the owner of that team.
Yeah, I think a little bit of like the confusion for a lot of people is they see the names that he's hung up next to. So Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and then Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, like you're saying, they don't understand the cultural impact that Derrick Rose brings.
Because you look at Michael Jordan's 6 rings, you look at Scottie Pippen's 6 rings, you look at these guys in the basketball form, and you're like, well, yeah, he's the youngest MVP, but he didn't get to finish his career. Yeah, but that I'm the owner. I can do what the hell I want to do. And what I want to do is put Derrick Rose in the rafters, right? It was sold out. Did anybody say, hey, don't do this out of any of those fans? No. Right? The fan says who should be in that rafters too. And he is a culture. He was, listen, if I had a chance to revive careers, I got one token to revive a career and say, I want to see you unhealthy. Just you get this token, and you get to have a healthy career. I would use my token on Derrick Rose.
Oh, wow.
Before myself. I will put myself second. Because I did get to go 3 All-Stars, 3 all NBAs. I was on the cover, right? So you seen what I was doing. The thing with Derrick Rose is, as the youngest MVP, then gets hurt, we don't know what it was. Right? We do not know what that was. That could have been the number 1 point guard ever. Right? That could have been. He could have surpassed Magic. Right? When you're talking about winning something, Magic won Finals MVP, won a championship at 19. That Derrick Rose was in that category. This is what he was doing. So when you're talking about just from an individual standpoint, I would give that token to him to see what his career would have been.
So he's your greatest NBA what if?
Yes, by far. As much as I want to say me or my favorite player, Penny Hardaway, we got enough of them to say, okay, they would have been a Hall of Famer. With Derrick Rose, for sure, Hall of Famer, but what type? What type? You know what I mean? There's different levels. What door does this man get into? Right now, just from the basketball standpoint, I don't know if he gets into the Hall of Fame with just the 1 MVP. If he got into just the Hall of Fame, I don't know how many basketball players that would be like, nah, he don't deserve it, right? The only people who will say that would be like the Mulberries and stuff because they deserve to be in there from the body of work. But when it comes to just like the potential of it, man, you're talking about that's that top 10 door. And that's what we all sit here and like, oh, I'm like, bro was moving very different. He could have been top 10. Easy. Like NBA player, like you get it. Like the top 10 is very different human beings. Like when we're talking about that argument of who's the best, when they start disrespecting your name, that, you know what I mean? Like you're like, you don't know if you ain't the shit until they disrespected your name and you top 2, right? And that's that category.
So if
Where they hate you, like they hate you because you this close.
If you had to put a stamp on it right now, is Derrick Rose the youngest MVP ever?
Mm-hmm.
And if you say no to this, he will be the only MVP ever to not make it. Is Derrick Rose a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, but it's okay. You can say it like that. The only MVP not in it. But remember, what happens is this. Most players win their MVP when they're priming, which means they have the body of work, right? They got the 3, 4, 5, all first teams. They got the all-stars. They got the all-NBA. You know what I mean? They have that, then they win their MVP. Well, he won his MVP before he got to do all of the body of work. So he's sitting with the MVP, no body of work. And the body of work is the most important part. So like if you take Luka, Luka 6 times first All-NBA, 6 times All-Star, that's what he's going to have. If he wins an MVP, right now, this year, he's a Hall of Famer. If he won it his first 2 years and then that was it, you know what I mean? That's the only problem. So the answer is I don't think his body of work puts him in. That's the only problem. We can say that, oh, no MVP, but you got to look at when MVPs got their MVPs. He's the youngest MVP, but the body of work was the problem that kind of hurt him. Wasn't the game. If players had to vote, if the players got the vote, yes, he's the MVP. I mean, he's Hall of Famer, but we don't have the vote.
Well, and it's actually funny that you say that because they sat down with Kendrick Perkins after the whole ceremony and everything like that, and he said that he's the people's MVP. He said that he's even greater. Yeah, he said that he's bigger than MJ in the city.
He is bigger than Michael Jordan when it comes to being in Chicago. Like, people in Chicago, from the YNs to the old folks to the people who run the city, like, that's their king. Like, D Rose is their king for not only what he brought to the game of basketball between the lines, but he has done so much in that fucking community. It's unreal. Like, they fucking love him. They love him. Like, I'm telling you this, I've been in Chicago during that time. It's D Rose, D Rose, D Rose, D Rose. He might be the biggest athlete that's ever, like, when he's gonna have a statue.
Oh, easy.
He's gonna have.
He gets retired this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I agree with him. He's not tripping.
No, he's not tripping. So,
I mean, do you agree?
The biggest, that's it. Okay. The fact that I don't live in Chicago, so I don't know how Chicagoans feel about, Derrick Rose. Obviously he grew up there. He's number 1 player, in the country, right? That's was his body of work there. All he had to do was just go to Illinois. He would have been God. But, he is homegrown to the city. And obviously from my age group to this age group, he falls right in there, right? Both age groups falls out of Michael Jordan's age group. So is he the biggest athlete in the city of Chicago? Yes. Right. What they're saying is not true. Jordan fans is going to think Jordan is still the king and don't realize, and this is not a hot take, this is reality, but it's going to be treated like a hot take. If you look at the past, you look at the greats, just like any great, your name becomes irrelevant, right? And people move on to the newest thing. Your generation voice gets a little bit lower, while whoever's there now, voice gets louder. So Derrick Rose's voice is loud, and it has been loud since he came to the team, right? MJ's name is still really big in a community. Remember, Magic Johnson had a name. That name is not that big anymore in the basketball community unless an older person talks about it. Larry Bird's name is gone, right? Tim Duncan right now, gone, right? Shaquille O'Neal, he used to get in his face because he's active. Remember, MJ is not active in the basketball community. The basketball community still holds MJ here is because of LeBron James. When LeBron James retires, the MJ name will fade a little bit because of this. Anytime LeBron does something that's close to like MJ is at the top. When you're at the top by yourself, nobody looks at you anymore. Right? You're so far up there that no one looks up there. Well, if you're watching LeBron James climb to the top, the only way the Jordan fans get activated is because someone got close enough. They're there. So their voice became loud. Every time LeBron did something, the MJ voice came louder, right? So then for the last, 8 years, it's been MJ on LeBron. If you mention LeBron, if LeBron hits a game winner, it goes to MJ. Because he's fighting for the GOAT, MJ name stays relevant to today's society. But people will fight that. And then I would just say this. Michael Jordan's been in NASCAR and motorbike since 2003. And you can't tell me shit about anything he does. Period. You can't tell me nothing about his golf swing. You don't have golf videos. You don't got NASCAR winning video. You don't have nothing. No one reports nothing about MJ's life. Only time MJ gets brought up 4, 5, 6 years ago, that's it. He golfs. NASCAR, they got winning. Do you know everybody on his team? Nope. You sure don't. How many championships you got in that? You don't. You only, if you're a Jordan fan, you only talk about MJ when he played basketball in 1998. You don't even talk about the Wizards stuff. So 98 is his legacy, and it's lasting now because Bron's here, and when Bron's gone, MJ's name will fall a little bit too until someone starts touching that throne again, and then boom, the noise will happen again. But Derrick Rose is Chicago. And he will be that for a long time until they find another young boy 10, 15 years now that can dethrone that. But for Chicago, it has to be somebody in Chicago. Right? It's not the basketball of Derrick Rose. It's Derrick Rose himself. From middle school, high school to the NBA, that's it. It's him. The quiet assassin. And on a personal note, just for the record, I gave his ass 30 off the bench. Just you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I just want to throw that out there. You know what I mean? I got to face him when he was a young boy, and he gave him 30. Just a little quick one, right? Coming off the bench, I was probably looking like this. John Wall went out, hurt his ankle, and it was like, Gil, we need you. That's like, oh, you need me again. Okay, let me go. I was like, hey, young boy, how you doing out here, man? Don't mind me, man. I'll be out here in a minute, man. You know what I mean? I had to do that to a couple of young boys. I had to do that to Curry too. Gave him 45. I'm only here for a short time, young fella. I'm not here to be no problem. You know?
Are you gonna tell people what he gave you though?
He didn't give me nothing. He gave John Wall. Didn't you just say I had John Wall? What did he give? What did he give us?
Yo, you.
What did he give us? You got us. What did he give us? Let's go look at this.
He gave y'all 24. 24.
Yeah, now how many fourth quarter? Because I had to play in the fourth.
And how many in the fourth quarter? He scored 7 in the fourth.
Yeah, that's all me.
Yo.
How many I scored in the fourth?
Oh, no, you scored 15 in the fourth.
You feel me? You feel me? You know what I mean? That's me, baby. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You know? But that don't take nothing from that man. No, that don't take nothing from his legacy. That ain't that little smear, one-legged dude come out the bench, gave you a little 15 quick ones. But Derrick Rose, man, has been that dude. He's an Adidas icon. He was part of the Adidas family. And, what he's done with the Adidas brand, what he's done with the Chicago Bulls brand, he made Chicagoans feel alive again. And to be honest, it was probably the first time they felt alive because it was one of their own. You know what I mean? I think the only person that would have had that type of impact would have been probably Dwayne Wade. Now, if Dwayne Wade got drafted to Chicago and you put his career in a Chicago jersey, they would be considering him the greatest Chicagoan. Because he did it in high school, he would have did it there for the Bulls, winning the championships and all of that as a homegrown. Yeah, look, homegrown is always better than outsiders. So, but he's from South. D Rose from Southside too, right?
Yeah, he's
in the crib. He's in the crib. Yeah.
Not to discredit, you let the Chicagoans tell it like that, but he from there for real.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like. You know what I like about him, man? He's one of the few superstars that was quiet. He let his game speak for him, man. What a talent. Wish I could give my coin back. Oops, start it over. Let's do it again.